This morning we're revisiting a health strip, and you know that's that hard place to garden right in front of your home between the sidewalk and the street. And so we're revisiting it with Bonnie, and so Bonnie, it looks tremendously different in just 4 months.
It does, yeah. All of the plants have really taken off, and you know, especially the nepeta or the catmint. We've been so excited because it's brought so many bees to the garden this summer.
Yeah, and it's still blooming, and it's probably been blooming all that time, which is great.
Yeah, it's been blooming and it's been coming into its own, and now we've got some of the fall colors coming in. So yeah, it's been a really wonderful surprise.
So even more surprising is the amount of water. So tell us about that, because that was really one of your big goals, is not a lot of water in this area.
Right. So originally I was thinking that I would put drip out here, and I just never got to it this summer, which was kind of a fun experiment, you know.
Sure.
So we selected these plants so that they're water-wise plants, and hopefully they're well adapted to their space, which I think we've found that has proven true with this experiment. And so about every week or so, when things started to look a little bit dry, I would drag the hose out and give them a nice deep watering. And so probably over the last 4 months, I've given them, you know, 8 to 10 waterings.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I've used this 5-gallon bucket. I drilled some holes in the bottom for the trees because I wanted to make sure that they need a little bit more water than our perennials. So I made sure to give them about 3 to 5 gallons per watering, and that seemed to work pretty well for them as well.
Wow, wow. And then what about the mulch? Because you put really a very generous amount of wood chip mulch on. So how did that work?
So that worked really well. The mulch made it so that there were less weeds. So I probably spent an hour, maybe 2 over the last 4 months, maybe 2. And then I also decided to add a couple of plants this summer in the middle of the summer, which is kind of a no-no, but I thought, well, let's just give it a whirl. So when I did that, I just pulled the mulch back and dug into the soil, and I was so pleasantly surprised to find that the soil was moist, and that wasn't in areas that I had been watering. So that, you know, the retention was really great.
That is amazing. And so, and speaking of water, I see another kind of jug you have there. So what is that jug?
Yes, so this is part of my emergency water supply. September is Emergency Preparedness Month, and typically I would switch out my emergency water supply in the summer, but I wanted to save it for today and just tell you and your listeners about this. So in September, we really recommend, we're trying to get the message out that we want people to store 1 gallon per person per day for 14 days. And obviously that won't help you with every emergency, but being prepared will definitely help with every emergency.
Well, definitely, and we all know that the last few weeks and how important it is to be prepared, and something so easy as just water. And then just as a wrap up, so what are you doing for fall for this area?
Right, so my plan is to plant bulbs, so we'll have some nice pops of color in the spring, and then if I get a wild hair and there's another plant that just needs to have a new home, I might move 1 or 2 more out here as well.
You're a true gardener. I mean, there's always one more plant.
Right, exactly. Just never enough time.
And so is there a website that we can have the viewers go to for preparedness or just other information?
Yeah, so regionalh2o.org is our website. We've got great conservation information, so if you're looking for tips for next year or this fall, and then also, of course, emergency preparedness information.
Well, it's so exciting to see this again, Bonnie. Congratulations, it's such a success, and really we all can, you know, have an idea of where to put water-wise plants. This is a great idea, a great experiment. Maybe you need to do it at your house too. If you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv and you can see the website that Bonnie's talking about. Thanks so much, Bonnie.
Thank you so much.